So the conventional diagnostic methods are you collect a sample, you can take blood sample, you can take a urine, you can take CSF, or sometimes I've even collect very rare. This is just academic interest, aqueous humor. Okay, so when they've not found anything, they've even looked at testing the aqueous humor. Okay, but this is just theoretical. Most often, what is taken is blood and urine. So screening tests are available. You have a rapid diagnostic test, which is known as the lepto-check test, and this is what is used more often, especially. So all your rapid diagnostic tests are kept for your peripheral institutions. Okay, primary healthcare center, community healthcare center. That's where you get the rapid diagnostic kits. Okay, but at hospitals, they still want the skill to be there, and therefore your culture isolation techniques are still followed at the higher centers. So you have a rapid diagnostic test, you have ELISA also, and then the confirmatory test is culture for isolation of the organisms, and you have both the PCR as well as the MAT. Okay, so the rapid diagnostic test mainly looks for the IgM antibodies. Okay, so you can get a dipstick test. You can get where you cut, you get dipstick is basically strips that you cut and then you can use them to dip into the, usually for urine, you can use a dipstick test. You can use a lateral flow test, just comes like a tube, just similar to the pregnancy test. There's also a tri-dot test which is available. So the advantage with RDTs are that they're simple to perform, they're quick, you don't need experts because you can show, you can read the color change occurs and it's easy to understand what it says. Okay. So the reagents are stable at room temperature, but these are screening tests, and just a screening test being positive does not mean that the person has the particular disease for sure. So you need to carry out a confirmatory test after you have a screening test which is positive. So you can carry out a dark ground microscopy to see the leptospira in living state. In urine, they are excreted after 7 days of onset of the disease, and usually they are present in the urine intermittently for around 4 to 6 weeks. So they like the kidneys, and so that's why you find them in the urine. So different organisms have affinity and predilection for different organs, and you will find that the leptospira like the kidneys. The ELISA is another one of the used as screening. And so again, you're looking for a PET sera one, usually for IgM infection. So within 7 days after the infection, then this way you will get a positive result. Okay. And you can take a second sample after 2 weeks. So then if you see a rise or a change, then you can get, you can look at ELISA for screening. To isolate leptospira, the commonly used culture are stated for you here. And usually this is inoculated, it's usually at room temperature, but you can see that it takes a long period of time. Okay? Takes 2 weeks for the report to come. They can also try an animal inoculation method where blood is taken from the patient and inoculated into a guinea pig. Okay, again, these are academic. Okay, this is for you to know because this is possible. Okay. Now, what is the disadvantage with isolation, with culture and inoculation is that because of the slow growth rate of the organisms, the isolation rate is also less because nowadays, anytime anything comes, already antibiotics are prescribed. So if the person gets even one dose of doxycycline, your chance of cultivating the organism drops. Now, this is a very interesting gold standard test, which is microscopic agglutination test. This is a serovar specific test. Okay. So whatever is the antigen which is likely to be circulating in a particular area, they are taken. Okay. And they are incorporated into your test. And that's why I said this serotyping and knowing what serovar will help you to know. So in each area, you will have kits which are made based on what is the local epidemiology. Okay, so common leptospira and serovars, which are locally endemic, they are used to make your kits. Okay. Now the advantage of this is that it is a very sensitive and a specific test. So it is a gold standard for diagnosis of leptospirosis. Your MAT is a gold standard. But the disadvantage is that you need to maintain a culture. Okay, because you want to get the antigen, you have to maintain a culture. It is a complex process. It is time consuming. It is also expensive, and you need a reference lab. Okay. So while this is a gold standard, this is available only in facilities where you have people who can carry it out. Okay. That is the implication. Now, PCR is another valuable procedure, your polymerase chain reaction. The advantage of PCR is that it can detect even a small number of leptospira in blood and urine. Okay, because it magnifies the polymerase, the reaction there. It can take even a small amount of DNA or RNA. If it is present in that, it just magnifies it. Okay, so it is very useful, and especially when you don't get too much and you have only a few count, your PCR is very valuable. Okay, but again, the disadvantage of PCR is that it is expensive. Okay, and this, you cannot use a PCR test in the field, so therefore you have to play up between diagnostic tests, your rapid test kits, and a PCR. So rapid test kits are usually used for if you just want to carry out academic surveys and see what is the prevalence of leptospirosis infection. Then you can reserve your rapid RDT kits. That's what we plan to do even with COVID-19, because your rapid diagnostic kits were not very sensitive or specific. We can reserve them for carrying out community-based surveys just to know how many people had actually got the infection. If you want to know, what is the level of herd immunity, it's good to use those tests. But for a patient where you want to be sure and you do not have any, a firm clue, you would rather do a confirmatory test. So the treatment of leptospirosis, antibiotics are the mainstay of treatment. And thankfully, we have effective antibiotics which are available. So crystalline penicillin can be used, 6 million units can be given. Another useful drug is doxycycline. In fact, doxycycline is among your list of drugs that can be used as prophylaxis. Okay, so post-exposure prophylaxis for people who have walked through water, logged areas or in floods, doxycycline can be given as a prophylaxis. Even before, you don't wait for them to develop the signs and symptoms. Okay, so crystalline penicillin, doxycycline, amoxicillin, and third generation cephalosporins, especially if you find that there is resistance to penicillin. So the primary treatment is any suspected case during the rainy season. Okay, if you suspect a case, give it. Okay, and that is why the focus is not so much on the lab diagnosis, because it does not change your line of treatment too much, unless, like I said, you want to document that it is a case of leptospirosis. So in countries, in warm, humid, tropical countries, in the rainy season, when you get patients with suggestive, they get fever with chills, you also see there's jaundice, you start treating them for both leptospirosis as well as for malaria. Okay, so presumptive treatment is carried out for leptospirosis and malaria. So tab doxycycline 100 milligrams BD is given for 7 days. Chloroquine is given stat. Stat is immediate. Okay, you give 600 milligrams immediate dose. So that's around 4 tablets that you give. And then based on the body weight, at around 10 milligrams per kg body weight, for children you can start. Okay, and for usually what we would do is give 600 milligrams stat, and then for adults give 2 tablets the next day for the next 2 days. Okay, so for that would be for take care of malaria as well. For children, we had to see, because you would also get doses which are different, so you would give based on the body weight. Okay, now for children who are less than 6 years of age, in whom you do not want to give more strong, we do not want to give doxycycline, you can give amoxicillin. Sorry. So any mild disease or rapid immunodiagnostic test positive cases should be given injection crystalline penicillin. Okay, so you start giving them IV 6 hourly injection crystalline penicillin. Okay, so if you get your test positive, then you can start with penicillin. So all patients who develop danger signs, this is similar to what has been developed for dengue as well. Okay, so dengue we cannot admit because the number of cases of dengue is huge. Okay, dengue is in the millions. Okay, so that is why again they have developed a list of danger signs just like this, similar to this, and patients with danger signs need to be hospitalized. So we have to reserve our hospital facilities for people who need most. And therefore, if person has hypotension, decreased urine output, jaundice, hemoptysis, breathlessness, if you find there's a bleeding tendency,